first and foremost, you need to understand how the third-party auditor is going to be reporting. If you go in with the understanding that you're allowed 2 fails and they're going to do, say, 20 checks, you need to understand if they're going to do 20 single counts and only 2 of them can fail, or are they going to look at 20 SKU numbers and there can only be 1 fail? Because if you have 20 SKU numbers and that SKU is housed in 3 different locations, there are 60 counts that they're actually doing, and if any one of them fails, you're done, right? You miss your 2, you're out. If it is 20 checks, they're going to 20 different locations, selecting an item, counting it, making sure it matches. You can miss 2 on that. And it seems like it's easier to miss the 2 on the 20. It's actually easier to miss the 2 on the 60. You have a larger pool to pull from that you can find the human error that was missed, right? So you need to understand how they're actually going to be doing that, and then you can kind of tailor the way that you count to do that. The goal is always to get the best inventory possible. If you know that the chances of something slipping through the cracks are greater because you don't have a WMS system in place, you're probably going to want to go through it a little bit more carefully, a little bit more diligently. You do your first count, you do potentially a second blind count versus a verification, which we've done. It's a completely blind first and second count, and then we find out if that is a solid match. If it's not, it actually dings for a third count, and a third person comes, they count it, and they determine what is true. Was the first count right? Was the second count right? And then we can go ahead and do the verification. Or you can just do a first count with a second count verification if you have a WMS system in place, and there will be an auto verification that happens if the counter does their first count and it matches what your system says. It auto verifies, so we believe that it's true. If it does not match your system, the verifier does a second count. It is not blind because it's a verification, and they will say, yes, the count of 10 that we did physically is true, or they'll say, oh no, the count of 15 that the system says is in here is true. So they're just verifying whatever we believe is the count versus what the system says is the count.